good to see you once again on a weekday at 1 o'clock. Ding, 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 like lunch rings. Here we are. It's Odd Takes. I am Jerry Bo at Jerry Bo Sports. What's happening, my people? It's damn good to be up in here again because I miss you guys. We only get to see each other one time a day for an hour, and then I try to prepare myself to see each other the next hour. And I try to prepare myself to get my man Aaron Raybould going. What's going on, Aaron?
Well, first off, you need to mute your phone or your laptop or whatever you got that's just doubling back with what our show is. I know people love us. I know a lot of people, we've seen the numbers, go back and watch afterwards or catch up later in the day, which if you're one of those people who's watching us later than what the show was on live, we appreciate you. We love you. But people on live don't need to hear a clapback echo of what we're doing.
Hey, shit happens.
I mean, now, would that make sense on any other day besides 420?
No.
We got a hell of a show. Like, anybody who's not following me on Twitter, at Aaron is Blitzed. Yeah, I'm holding on to that Twitter account until somebody gives me a better reason not to. What's up, Chicken Dinner? Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you like the show. We will talk about that here in a bit. But, yeah, welcome in, Odd Squad. Everybody, make sure you subscribe. Use that Amazon Prime subscription so you can subscribe to the channel. Follow us at the very least so you know when the show is going live. But, yeah.
Aggie Milkman's in the house. Big Box Marshall, Queen Bee. Who else we got? Chicken Dinner. Yeah, shout out to him. Alan Denson, Chris Reyes. Walt, what up, Walt? I saw those cool racing videos that y'all that Barry played. Man, I need to go out there and check out some of this stuff that you got going on. I'm open for an invite. Invite me. I'm gonna be there. 281-522-6336. That's your open invite to get in on whatever we got going on, whether it's some trivia, whether you want to play some blackjack, whatever it is you want to do, or you want to get in on any of the subjects. It is what were they thinking? What were they thinking? We're going to get to that as well. But first, we're going to get into a few things from last night. We're going to recap a few things. As far as the Astros, I mean, what is their recap? Frombird. I always say, man, I do trust them in certain instances, and trust is a strong word, right? You're out there watching, it's like, man, when you trust something, when you trust someone, trust is a strong word. With Framber, it's like you know what Framber you're going to get within that first 2 or 3 innings. You know if you're getting that good, if he's got good movement, he's commanding the strike zone. But when you get that bad Framber,
I mean, we started off the year, he went out there in what was it, game 1, I guess, and lights out. Everybody looked and went, this is the Framber that we saw in the playoffs. This is the Framber that we said is ace worthy. Yeah. You know, we've got an ace in Justin Verlander. We've got strong pitching. We've got Luis Garcia. We have Lance McCullers when he's healthy. But Framber's that dude who can be the next generation ace on this staff. And then the last 2 starts, he goes out there and I'm not going to say shits the bed, but it was just rough. You know, Barry talked about it yesterday on his show. I do show prep for our show. I send it out to a couple other people who are in our media world who are still friends, or some of them still compensate me for it. But, my headline was, Framber saw more singles yesterday than a dude who just got a divorce in a strip club. I mean, because that's all the Angels were doing was just, there was nothing big. It was nothing crazy, nothing off the wall, just single, over and over again. And eventually it caught up to him. Eventually, he gave up a few early in the game where he got out of it. And then, was it 4th, 5th inning? Just over and over, and it got worse and worse. And I was like, yep, bad Framber.
It seems like he gets behind in counts and gets into hitters count wherever they can just take the hit instead of trying to go for the big, for the extra base hit or a home run. It seems like where he gets in a position where it's like, all right, I know what's coming. I know he has to give me something. And then he gets hit. If you go back outside of that first start, he has 9 walks now, 7 runs, and 10 hits in 2 starts, covering 7 1/3. Whew. That's just bad. In 7 1/3 innings, 9 walks. Think about that, 9. He's all over the place. But, again, I guess we'll use, and I hate to use the cliche term, better now than later, right? And better now at the beginning of the season. Hopefully we can work these kinks out. But at the same time, and I'll point on myself, whenever Verlander and we didn't know what was going to happen, I thought, you know what? Do you really even need him? You got Framber now. Well, better be damn glad that Verlander's here, and they did overpay him. I've said it on this show. I'm not going to be one of those guys that won't go back on my own words and say, man, what were you thinking there? as of right now. Now, my entire, I guess, philosophy behind this is that I'm not sure if Verlander's going to last the whole season. But if he does at anything at the rate where he's pitching, then it's a blessing, because I'm not sure that we can trust Fromber. Now, using that same trust word, we used to trust, we still do Verlander. We used to trust one Garrett Cole.
Cool.
What happened? What does a Yankee fan think right now after giving Garrett Cole that money? What do you think Yankee fan thinks right now? Like, what
I
the
mean,
hell?
and I saw it, and I saw, I think it's Jared Carabas, who works at Barstool, or it was somebody. It was another person in the media I follow who's is more of a Boston type person. And of course, they love ragging on Yankee fans. And they went and they screenshotted Spot Track of Garrett Cole's contract and said, by the way, you've got like 8 more years of this, Yankees. This is what you signed up to pay for. This is exactly what Yankee fans wanted. Oh, we went and stole Garrett Cole from the Astros. We know what we're doing. Garrett Cole with his Scott Boras hat on after losing the World Series with this team. Yeah, he didn't get to see action in Game 7. Whatever. As an Astros fan and watching him put on that Scott Boras hat and not even sticking around and going, you know what, I'm still part of this team until the actual, I officially finished collecting a check. Because he still got a paycheck from the Astros. He's still got a check of all the playoff bonuses and dividends and all that stuff. So watching him go out yesterday and get chased after, was it 1 1/3 or 1 2/3 innings, just getting rocked by Detroit of all places.
He gave up. He walked 4 in the inning, including 3 straight walks to the 7, 8, 9 hitters. He's walking.
He's not doing this with the top of an order, with sluggers, with a murderer's row at the plate. These are low guys on the Detroit Tigers.
The 7, 8, 9 hitters on the Tigers for a whole 1.2 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 5 walks, 68 pitches total. Only 37 of them were strikes. Garrett Cole. I mean, you remember when the numbers came out of how much he made per pitch, per inning.
I mean, and Clarence says he thinks that Cole will figure it out. Yeah, I think when he gets that sticky stuff back.
That's what I was about to say.
You take away the spider tack, he's now turned into an average human.
Exactly. And that's the whole thing. He turned into an average guy again as soon as, just like how they want to say, well, the only time that the Astros won a World Series is ironically when they cheated. Okay. Well, as soon as they took away the sticky, what's happened to Cole's numbers? Ironically.
His numbers, that first stint in New York, when he first got there, everybody went, oh, crap. Like,
and then
he added him to that rotation. Oh, God, they're going to be, if they can figure it out the rest of the pit, if their relievers don't go up giving out Jose Altuve home runs like they're freaking Oprah, they're going to be really scared. And then all of a sudden, MLB goes, yeah, none of that spider tack shit anymore. And all of a sudden, Garrett Cole went, wait, what? None?
What?
Like, I can't even put a little bit? Like, just a little bit? No, none. We're going to check you after every inning.
It's crazy.
Shit. Well, it's a good thing my contract is guaranteed.
Hey, it's crazy. It's crazy to me that's where we are now, but you take away the things that were helping him get that extra movement on the ball, and you see a different guy. Meanwhile, Verlander's out there going for 8, coming off of Tommy John, going out there for 8. I believe that, and this is also maybe I always use a blessing in disguise. This might be something evil, because Astros management might be sitting there and looking and just saying, they're looking at every one of these scenarios like, you wanted us to give Garrett Cole that money? Look. You wanted us to give Springer money? Look. And then here comes Correa's time. What if that doesn't pan out? You wanted us to give Correa money? We're going to keep doing this system how we do it. That could be what's in store here if it keeps panning out like that. It very well could work like that. What were they thinking? Before, let's give Big Boss Marshall's a shout out to the Pelicans. Let's touch the NBA just real quick before we even get to what were they thinking. Did you catch anything yesterday? Any thoughts on where the series are now?
Jimmy Butler, good God, 45 points. I think Dwayne Wade's the only other Heat player to do that in a playoff game. Heat up 2-0 on the Hawks, which I like the Hawks. I like watching them. I like Clint Capella. I never had anything against him when he left. Good for him. I'm glad Ja Morant bounced back, because here I was talking shit right before they teed off and went, yeah, you know what? John Morant's going to put, what's his name, in a blender. And then, lo and behold, they lose the first game. John Morant came back. Grizzlies tie up their series. Oh, man. There's so much that if you would have asked me at the beginning of the playoffs, do you see it going out this way? I would have never gone. Yep. I would have. You could have asked me like predicting an NCAA bracket. I would have never had it set up like this yet.
Well, here we go. And on that note, the Pelicans, the late game, straight out outright victory, underdogs, 125-114 on the backs of Brandon Ingram's 37, 11, and 9. Almost went for the triple double. Crazy thing here though that's coming out is Scott Foster. Things that you always tell yourself, why the hell didn't I bet the plus 460? Scott Foster now 14-0, or you can say Chris Paul is 0-14 in games, playoff postseason games. That includes Scott Foster on the refereeing crew. What do you think? Is there something to this, or is it just fell like this?
So I'm not going to say 100% there's something to this. Yes, is there a possibility that the way it's fallen in? I mean, Chris Paul's played a long career. What's he been doing this? 12, 15, 17, 19, 20 years?
Yeah, something like
50
that
years?
long.
He's old now. Get over it. This is a possibility, but if the NBA itself hasn't brought in their own, and quietly, under wraps, they don't need to do it publicly. They don't need to do anything like that, because all you're going to do is scare off potential viewers and bettors and cappers and stuff like that. But quietly, if the NBA has not brought in their own investigative team to go looking at, and I mean every second of game film for every single Scott Foster playoff game where Chris Paul's been playing in it, and not looked at it and made detailed notes on everything, then the NBA is doing a disservice, because the NBA needs to now look at this. And, what do they say? Oh, what's the habits and trends saying that we use in gambling?
What, the ATS?
No, trust the trust the trend. Oh, fuck, I don't fucking remember. It's an old saying about trusting trends and following habits, basically. But the NBA needs to see that this 14 games now, they need to have somebody looking into this with a fine-tooth comb and go, okay, do we have a problem here? Is this something that everybody makes a joke about and it ends up being just purely coincidental? Or is there something that we need to snuff out? And we need to snuff it out now, because if we don't, somebody else will. Because guess what? There's a lot of people on Twitch, on YouTube, on Twitter, who do have plenty of time on their hands, who will go, like the dude who went and dug through every single Lakers win and loss tweet for an entire season and realized they never put it on LeBron, Westbrook, or Anthony Davis. Now, somebody is going to go out there eventually and start combing through every single game, and they're going to start looking at it and going, all right, this is what I've noticed. This is the trend. This is why. And maybe, again, it's going to be purely coincidental. They're going to try to make a mountain out of a molehill, or they're going to uncover something before the NBA does, and then the NBA is going to look bad. Because if the NBA, you bring in your own private investigator, again, you do not make it public. You let them go through, figure it out, and let them bring you a full report. Adam Silver needs to have a book in his hand to read through and go, okay, and if it turns out there's a 15, 20% chance of something shady going on, he needs to address it and go, look, we even brought in our own, and after you get the report, that's when you announce we had our own investigation done. That's when you go, look, this is a trend. Every social media, every media outlet keeps pointing this out. I get it. I wanted to check for myself. I want to keep the integrity of the game. I hired these people. They've looked. Here's the stats. I will give you I will give the report to every single media member sitting in this press conference. You will see. The stats are purely coincidental.
Big Boss Marshall makes a great point. They didn't lose because of the fouls or refs last night. They lost because Booker went down. Not only because of that, though, because you remember the Suns have played injured on and off all year. So they're supposed to be a team that's got that, right? But yeah, Booker was eating what he had 31 at half. He was out there dapping up babies. You seen him. He was out there dapping up babies. He hit one at the buzzer at the halftime with only, they had to run an inbound play. It was under, I believe, 3 seconds, and he just, pa. You're like, oh my God, is Booker going to go for 60 tonight? And then he was hurt. But I believe that the reason they lost is not only that, obviously, if Booker's in, maybe it's a different story. I'm not trying to be a dumbass about it. I'm more saying the Suns weren't able to stop the transition game. If you saw right in that second half, the Pelicans came out with one thing in mind, attack. And they were going to let CJ attack, and they were going to let Ingram attack. And Ingram just started going. You saw Ingram put his head down. He'd get the ball. He'd put his head down, and he was trying to go one-on-one every single time. Like, all right, if y'all don't come double team me, I'm taking this dude to the hole. That's exactly what happened, and that's exactly what he did. And then when the Suns' shots weren't falling, the Pelicans were grabbing the ball, and they were running fast. How many times did you see the Pelicans it wasn't even really a fast break, but all of a sudden it'd be a pass layup. You're like, damn, they got down to the court quick. That's how it ended. We got a new series, folks.
I mean, Ingram was 1 assist away from a triple-double.
He went off.
That's like I said, we talked about Jimmy Butler going off for 45 points against the Hawks. Brandon Ingram looked at the Pelicans and said, I got this. You just follow me. I'm the first through the door. I'm the first through the gate with my sword. Whatever I don't kill, y'all come and clean up.
Exactly. Remember, just thinking facetiously, what would the Lakers be if they would have kept Ingram way back when? If they would have kept Lonzo? Instead of going the Davis route, at least look how all those other guys panned out. Ingram panned out to be, if not the most improved player in this time. I mean, now he's a bona fide star. Like, he's getting there. Then you got Lonzo, got hurt this year, but he was balling his ass off, made it to another team, got a new contract in Chicago. It seems like, man, LeBron, you pulled the trigger on those kids too quick. Like, you should have. LeBron was making, I ain't got no damn time. Y'all got to get me a name in here. Who the hell is a damn Ingram? Who the hell is this ball kid? Like, get me some names. Anthony Davis? Yeah, get him. Anthony Davis is like, what, Lakers want me? Remember, Anthony Davis is such a bitch. He sat out at the end. Remember, he wasn't even playing for the Pelicans, and I'm a Laker guy. Like, I was like, hell yeah, they're going to get him at the time. But he sat out. He was like, man, remember, he was sitting on the bench watching games healthy, waiting for the trade. And then it happened. He basically forced the Pelicans' hands like, hey, I'm not going to play. I already made that clear. Like, I'm going to sit here on this bench. And I got a feeling that'd be messed up if Zion does that as well, huh? Like, what do you do with the Zion? They made a great comment. One of the announcers yesterday during the game, they said they were talking about how great the Pelicans have been this year and how they've been the hottest team after starting off real bad. They could have shipped it in. And then they said, this is all without their best player, arguably, Zion. Do they even need Zion now?
I don't think they need him. I think if you're going to move him because there is disagreement there, and that's what we've seen. More videos keep coming out of him during pregame warm-ups and stuff like that, and him working out during practice and just slamming it down. But then everybody looks and goes, okay, why is he not playing? Well, Pelicans and Zion can't agree on whether or not he's healthy to play a full game. Okay, what's the actual breakdown? It's not that they can't agree. It's either Zion's going, I don't want to play, or the Pelicans are looking at it and going, we've gotten this far without him this season. What do we have here that somebody might give us something? I think if you can get an asset, 2 assets maybe for him, if you can prove that he's healthy enough to go out there and get a couple assets, I think that could actually benefit the Pelicans more.
Somebody will take a shot on Zion, I believe. Some idiot that'll.
Whoever and I talked about drafting teams, organizations, and front office people. Whoever is the person who does the character assessment of these draft prospects has to be maybe not fired, but demoted. And you need to get somebody who looks, because they have people that look at, like, it's his job to look at the character of the prospect and go, okay, this is the type of kid we're bringing in. Is he going to fit the culture of what we're trying to build? You got to find somebody who's going to stop finding the guys like Anthony Davis and Zion Williamson who just throw up their hands and go, nah, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't like y'all.
See, on paper, I think that the media is such a culprit in this, because if you look at it on paper, if you would have took away the names, John Morant showed you everything that you needed to see. But then if you look at who Zion was, they started saying Zion was going to be the next LeBron. Zion's been having hype since high school. Like, if you've kept up with Zion, remember. But then if you go look, we're going to pull up some Zion videos, and he's playing against, Zion was playing against little white kids that were coming up to his damn waist, and he's out there like I was watching one the other day. He's laughing, backing him up, and he's like, he just kind of just backs him up, walking, and it's like, man, Yeah, don't get me wrong. Then he went to Duke, and then the exploded shoe. And everybody's like, oh, my God, this guy, he's breaking out of his shoes. What do we do? You know what I mean? And it was like, the hype got so real that everyone knew, like, man, you just can't pass up on Zion first. Like, you just can't pass up on Zion first. When you knew right in front of you, yeah, it's going to be hilarious, bro. You're going to see some of these little kids, and you're going to say, who the hell are these little kids? You see someone like, go look at little Bronny. He's playing against some badasses. He's playing against Melo's son. Wait till you see who this boy's playing against. I'm like, then I'm not taking nothing away from Zion, but damn, the hype was early. I was all over it. You see some of these kids, you're like, who are these kids? The B team?
I mean, and that's the thing is that Bronny James is now playing. I don't know what academy or school he's playing with, but he's playing with a much better team than what Zion. I mean, Zion wasn't going to. He didn't go to IMG Academy or anything like that. I think he went to just some everyday school. I could be wrong, but that's why you see these guys who do AAU, and yeah, you're good during the off season against the AAU guys, but you're not the best in the world. You're not a world beater. And then he goes to high school and he pulls this kind of stuff. And I mean, look at those kids.
Ain't nobody even jumping with him. Look, everything's a fast break. No one's even jumping with him. Look.
And again, being the big fish in the small pond is cool for you. But
look at this little dude that was running next to him. He said, nah, I'm not. Look, they just open up the lane for him every time. Look at this.
Hey, yeah,
look at those little kids.
Those are called business decisions by those kids.
Yeah, their parents are like, nah, man. I mean, and don't get me wrong, this is what we've been seeing for years. It was put into everybody's system like, hey, there's no way that Zion Williamson can't go first. Like, the draft starts at 2. Zion's got to go first, and then the busted shoe over on top. Something that no one's ever seen. In the North Carolina game, think about that. Like, that's why some people were like, man, this got to be set up. Like, out of all the times when all the eyes are on Duke, North Carolina, Zion bust open a shoe, like on national television, it just exploded. And then that's what happened in his entire career so far. It's exploded. I forget that they said the number. It's like 60-something games that he's played or something. Like, what? You see the big-ass chain? Isn't that spit in the face? He's out there doing, the other day they showed him doing a windmill dunk. They also spoke last night that he's playing 5-on-5 already. But what they do is the 5-on-5, I didn't realize that this is when, I mean, I guess now it makes sense. So he's playing 5-on-5, but they do it, no cameras allowed behind closed doors, and it's other guys. They let the team, the playoff team, and that roster practice, and then Zion comes in with, I don't know who. They talked about it on last night's broadcast, and they say it's a closed door, no camera practice, and he's playing 5-on-5. I don't know what the hell that means.
I mean, I said this because I wasn't paid to talk on the radio at the time. I was paid to push buttons at the time, but AJ had said this. I agreed because he and I watched both a lot of OVC basketball. I knew Ja Morant should have been the number one. No matter what happened, I had a faith that he was going to have a better career and a better performance than Zion Williamson. Now, think about this. You want to say, we're talking about going into the what-if machine. What if the Pelicans had drafted Ja Morant? And you have him at the point right now with Brandon Ingram. And say they even do pull off the C.J. McCollum trade. Think about what you have out there on the floor.
Boy, what
with those
if?
Three.
You ask yourself, what if? A lot of teams, I mean, you're always going to, what if? We're always going to have the Greg Oden talk come into play. Someone brought it up right now. Greg Oden, I guess we're always going to, I guess it matters the amount, the bust. It hurts even worse if that guy that you should have drafted ends up panning out more. Now, if none of the top 3 or 4 guys panning out, no one remembers. But whenever it's like this, it's different because you're like, man, Ja Morant, what if Ja Morant ends up blowing up? What if LeBron ended up panning out? Just who was it, Darko that one year? Just a few guys that you think, man, they got some big shoes to fill. And you got some big shoes to fill here coming up next because it's marble time. We've reached halftime. It's marble time. Please go to your social media, share it, tell your friends about it. Somebody at work, just tell them download Twitch, go to Odd Takes, and watch this show. Let's watch these boys grow. We'll be right back.
All right, Odd Squad, let's do this race. As soon as this loads, our dear marble game. Here we go. All right. Yes, CC, you made it back in time. If you haven't played the game before, this is very, very easy. Once I choose a track and it loads, wait till the track loads, exclamation point play in the chat is going to get you a marble. You have no control over the marble. All you have to do is put exclamation point play in the chat and watch where your marble runs through this race. We're going to do some bragging rights on this one. All right, now you can go through. You know what? I want to brag again because I want to win again. I want to kick everybody's ass at marbles. Exclamation point play in the chat, get you a marble. And I'm going to start this one in 60 seconds. 1 minute from now. So if you're listening but you're not in the room with your keyboard, run to your keyboard. You got 60 seconds. And then we'll run this race. All right, 10 seconds and I'm hitting play. So if you don't got your marble, get in there. There's 30 some of y'all here and only 24 y'all want to race. 25. All right, let's do this. Let's race from the dojo. I don't know whose dojo it is. All right, let's look at this track while everybody else is rolling down the giant rain gutters. All right, this is going to get interesting. Let's see where everybody is. Skinny Money's out in first. Dre's in second. Jimenez isn't far behind. By the way, members of the Odd Squad community, and Deckhead community, Barry, I don't know if he announced it. I don't think he's doing his show today, so we're going to have to figure another team or another Twitch channel to go raid. Maybe we'll go find those dart dudes again. We'll go watch the British dudes watch darts or play darts and drink beer. Although I'm going to London, I kind of want to find them and be friends with them. Ooh, Jerry's out in front now. He's still off the pace of the fastest marble, as you saw. Getting stuck in the giant bamboo turbines, whatever, spinners. Skinny Money, Jerry, you suck too. Forms are all out there. Ooh, and Jerry's gone. How did Jerry fall off? What the hell? Ooh, Forms almost fell too. I want to see somebody fall again. I don't think this game knows who's in first place. Ooh, Uriel Villanueva, bye. Flew to his death. Somebody's out there. Clue Patron's out there in first place. Hey, I'm in second place. Look at that. Come on, little marble. I need the bragging rights, damn it. Come on. Oh, Skinny Money went out there and just... Ooh, haha. Come on, little marble. Clue Patron. Oh, Dre, Clue Patron. Let's see if one of y'all gets booted off. Nope. Down the stairs. You fell down the stairs like a bad soap opera actor. Good job, Clue Patron. Way to win. Way to be. Way to be a round little white ball. All right, our top 10's done. Let's get everybody else finished up here. Pookie, I think yours fell off. We'll find out here when the final standings come out. All right, let's see. Clue Patron, nicely done, first place. Pookie, yeah, did not finish. That means you were the very last one to fall off the track. Damn, a lot of y'all fell off the track. What the hell happened there? All right. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Part 2. And we're going to get into what were they thinking. But before we do that, it is 420 for all the smoker enthusiasts out there. And Aaron had a great question today. He even posted it on Twitter. So we're going to play along throughout the show. What was it?
So my thought was, because we're primarily a sports talk show, on 420, name me 3 athletes, coaches, and actually I'm going to amend it because it's my game, my rules. Any person, like a sports related person. 3, the top 3, whether they're well, no, they have to be alive. Top 3 have to be alive that you would enjoy, whether they smoke weed or not. I don't smoke weed. I've made it clear. I don't smoke weed, but if I had the opportunity, I could pick 3.
Queen Bee said Jerry Bow.
I mean, you could have Jerry Bow on your list. And Odd Squad, this is up for y'all too. Who are your top 3 sports-related people you would want to sit down and get high with? And we're talking just weed because it's 420. I'm not talking meth like we saw the barber yesterday. We're not talking, crack or any of that shit. Just smoke a joint, relax, hit a bong, eat an edible, whatever you want. But there's 3 sports people in the world that you get to pick. Who are you picking?
What consists of a good person to smoke with? Is it someone because they have a good weed? Like,
it's whatever you want.
Is it someone?
Do you think they have good weed? Do you think they're a cool high?
Or are they going to cook up some badass shit? Like, you're like, man, I know if I got high with that chef or whoever, he's just going to start cooking some shit up. So I want to get high. That's what I said. So what consists to you out there listening? Like, man, I just want a good ass storyteller, or I want somebody that's going to start just break out their instrument, some bad whatever the case is. The first thing I thought, and I got close to, I was at a place where Mike Tyson was just in the other room smoking. I mean,
Speaking of Mike Tyson, Skinny Money, that's his number 1.
Oh, did he say? Okay, yeah. No, so check it out. He was in the other room smoking. I could smell it. We were in the right next to the other room smoking. I'm thinking like, hey, why can't we just do this all together? Like, Mike's cool, we're cool. But I couldn't say nothing. Eventually, he came out, no joint in hand, and we ended up meeting him. Whatever, took a picture and whatnot. But then I thought to myself, is that really a dude you want to smoke with? Could you seen him? I'm not gonna use bipolar on him, but you see him switch his volume real quick in a lot of. So when he came out, first thing you want to do first, you're stunned, right? And then he's like shaking hands. So then he's making his round, and you're like, all right, am I gonna get to shake Mike Tyson's hand? And then you shake his hand. You're like, damn. First I was like, man, that hand's knocked out a lot of people. Is the first thing I was going through my. And then I thought, man, I got to get a picture. But then my mind told me what I had seen on Twitter, that one dude, like, he doesn't like people just pulling out phones on him. He even checked the dude in an interview. He was like, hey, man, what the hell? And he took the phone. Like, I remember that. So I said, man, let me play it safe. And then I watch and I see Brad Gilmore pull out his phone first. I'm like, all right, so if someone's going to get killed, it's going to be him. I'm watching like the kid like that's about to watch someone fall off a bike. He pulls it out and he's kind of doing this number. He like texting, and you could tell he's starting to get his camera ready. And then Mike just real cool just tells him, it's cool, man. Let's take a picture. And I'm like, wow, don't forget about, I'm looking just like, what about me? And he takes a picture. He's like, you want one too? I'm like, yeah. You're just like, yeah. But again, Mike Tyson, what if he just turns on you all of a sudden? What if you just say one thing that you're not supposed to say? How about Snoop? Is that somebody up there that you're like, man, just to say you smoke? Willie Nelson, he might be a boring smoker?
But they're not sports related. It's got to be somebody in the sports world. Somebody in the sports world.
Oh,
a coach, a player.
Are you getting high with Josh Gordon because he got all the weed?
No, that's a dude
he's got other stuff with him. He's like, you want to put this stuff in this weed? You're like, Josh, aren't you trying to get back to the NFL, bro?
And by the way, people are taking this way too literally. Again, I've already said I don't smoke weed. I don't have anything against you if you do. This isn't a, do you want to actually, are you actually going to sit down and smoke weed? Just play the game. Respect the exercise. If you did smoke weed and you were given the choice by the god of weed himself, Willie Nelson, I will put 3 sports stars or 3 sports related people next to you to smoke with.
Who you got?
Who do you want?
Who you got? Give me one. Give me one.
So I forgot my second one already, which is funny because I don't smoke weed, but I'm already forgetting shit. My number one that I had on my list, not my number one ranked, because I'll tell you my number one ranked after. Ryan Stanek. That dude
Pork
with
rind
the long
Stanek.
hair,
I call him pork rind.
with the Grateful Dead shirts and everything, he seems like a cool dude.
Ryan Stanek looks
He
like
looks
a dude that's
greasy
still
as
smoking
shit. I would
Reggie.
probably get high and go, dude, you need to wash your hair. It looks so gross. But Ryan Stanek seems like a cool guy.
Ryan Stanek might pull out some Reggie for some reason. He just looks like a dude. He's gonna be like, dude, I don't give a damn. I'm just smoking. I can see him pulling out some Reggies. Now look at the milkman. Paige Van Zant, Ronda Rousey, and Alex Morgan.
Yeah, I
all
wonder
beautiful
why.
females. He's all like, hey, y'all want to smoke a joint in the jacuzzi? And they're like, no, we don't. We just want to smoke a joint. And he's like, yeah, in the jacuzzi. They're like, no.
My weed, my rules. Get in the jacuzzi, ladies.
Ass, cash, or grass. Nobody rides for free. That's Aggie Milkman.
Stephen the Weather Guy is a good one.
Who does he got?
Mike Leach.
Ooh.
That was one I didn't think of.
Ooh, good storyteller. You know,
He's out there. He's
He'll
got
probably-
those weird Bigfoot like theories.
that's
and
what I'm
stuff.
saying.
Ooh.
Good ass storyteller. Maybe he'll cook up some shit. He doesn't look like a man that misses a meal.
JG says Peyton Manning, Josh Reddick, and Dennis Rodman. CC says Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson. I feel like he
Ooh.
still wouldn't be relaxed.
If you're a woman, I feel like he might just start trying to be extra sexy, like trying to hit on you, like, hey,
Yeah.
you want to
Oh,
kiss one of these
man.
rings? You're like, no, Phil. Damn it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I think Mike Leach right now has to be.
Mike Leach has to be
Somebody
maybe
said
the,
cocaine with the Macho Man.
No.
Rest in peace.
We ain't doing that. Like I said, no booger sugar, no meth, none of that. Nothing escalated. Just the
This
stuff
is
that grows
4,
right in the ground.
2,
That plant,
0.
you let it dry out, you roll it up, you smoke it, or you bake it into some cookies or eat a gummy bear, whatever.
trying to think.
Um,
I'm trying to think. Football.
My second one was Dana White. That I remembered it.
You know who would be cool? Tyson Fury. You know, he's just
Yeah.
a wild. He just a wild. I don't give a damn. But remember, he was in trouble for cocaine for a long
Yeah,
time.
that's what
So-
scares me.
So you always gotta wonder because he's gonna be like that dude. Be like, hey man, let's just turn up the party a little bit. You ever done cocaine? You're like, bro, it's 420.
I'll tell you my number one, and everybody's gonna probably say it's dumb.
They got a good one.
Jim Nance.
Oh, he's got stories though.
I want Jim Nance high stories.
Jim
I
Nance
want
will
Jim
fuck around and fall
Nance.
asleep though. Jim Nance is gonna be falling asleep between. He's gonna wake up, and then on the 17th hole, and he's gonna keep waking up. Where was I? He's like, damn.
But I
Damn it.
want to be able to sit there and take videos and just go, Jim, give me a good call.
Jim, you want on coke? You want Jim
Oh,
just hype?
no.
Jim, you want Jim just giving you just, and then you're not gonna believe what I saw. You're like, Jim, calm down. They said Antonio Brown.
Oh, Antonio Brown. That sounds like that sounds like you're gonna catch a case for something. It starts with weed, and again, it goes off the rails, and you end up in the back of a cop car with Antonio Brown. That's not good. And guess what? Antonio Brown's famous, so you're his fall guy.
What happens if you smoke with Deshaun Watson? All of a sudden, you hand him the joint. He's like, oh, I'm feeling a little tight right here. He's hitting the joint. He hands it back to you. He's like, can you hit me right? You're like, Doug, we're on the way. We're on the way to the Astros game. What are you talking about? He's like, yeah, but weed makes me tense, like in this area. Can you hit me like here and in the glutes? You asshole.
Clue Patron says Jeff Bagwell. Yeah, Bagwell already talks slow enough. I think on weed, he might even slow down even more. So would it be the longest conversation in the world?
Deshaun, why are you touching my joint like that, Queen Bee? You're like, brother, just hit it and quit it. Pass it. Do you
All
even
right,
want to
y'all
hit
can
it?
keep
after
weighing
him?
in on
Let's
this.
get to what were they thinking, you jerks. We weren't supposed to get this far.
What were you thinking?
We got a show to finish. I got an Astros game to get to.
Oh, yeah,
Y'all feel free to keep chiming in and talking with amongst yourselves with it.
Let's run
But I
that-
wanted to put it out there.
Let's run through these. We got what were they thinking? Netflix stock crashes to a 4-year low. Hey, Where do we go from here? Because I know where I start. These boys keep raising and raising the prices every time. Every time you go look on your automatic debit, because you got them usually set up automatically, right? So then all of a sudden you don't find out till like month 3 that the shit went up. You're like, damn, now I got to claim you as a dependent? Netflix? That's where we are now? Well, this is what you get now. This is what you get. The lows in 4 years of stock. They don't know what to do. They're even throwing out that they might throw. So the cheapest package went from $9.99 to $14.99. That was the cheap one. Okay. They're saying, all right. We'll go back to the $9.99. But it's going to come with ads. Why? Because they need to generate ad revenue or anything. What is that number? The 100 million number?
100 million households are sharing passwords, and Netflix has talked about this for 2 years now. 2 years they've said, we're going to start cracking down. If you're sharing passwords, we're coming after you. We're going to lock your account. We're not going to let you do it. Okay, good luck, Netflix. That's just part of the game.
They're going to start charging, supposedly.
And
how would that do it? By IP? But you're like, it's me.
Yeah.
I'm at another,
They're probably going to, so what I think is they probably are working on a code in there that would say you can't be logged in from more than one IP address at the time. And it's got to have the certain base, like you can have, like if you and your wife share one under the same roof, that's fine. But you can't be logged in Houston, Texas, and in Boston, Massachusetts at the exact same time. You got to log out from one.
So if you're out there sharing Netflix passwords, they're coming for you.
And I mean, it boils down to this. What exciting new show has aired on Netflix that you've saw a preview for and gone, I got to watch that.
Well, you see
that looks so cool. There was, everybody got obsessed with The Witcher. There was that psycho stalker thing.
They're trying to rewatch old stars, like movie stars, though, and make them like Netflix exclusive movies.
Well, and not only that, I mean, they're trying to compete with like an Amazon Prime who has The Boys. They have like 6 or 7 other shows. But Amazon Prime is also backed by the second richest person in the world, Jeff Bezos.
He don't give a damn.
And Amazon Prime went out and bought MGM so that they get all that extra money revenue from all the old movies and the new movies that are coming out. So they get to launch them that way. Apple TV Plus. We talked about this yesterday because they're about to go and get Sunday Ticket. Apple TV Plus is backed by one of the biggest companies in the world. And I get it. Netflix, you're big. You're not Apple big.
Nah.
Guess what? And Apple is making sure that they are differentiated. They're what we call diversifying their portfolio of entertainment. They have their original shows, your Ted Lasso, your morning show, stuff like that. They're launching new movies.
Sunday Ticket coming.
So they got Sunday Ticket. They've got Friday Night Baseball. They're going to start adding more and more to diversify what they're offering. So people are going, yeah, cool. I mean, I pay what, $5 a year or $5 a month for Apple TV Plus? Like, Apple TV, and they already got me by the short hairs anyways because all my shit's Apple. They know it.
What's crazy here is, though, that the idea of them saying, we'll go back to original pricing, but you're still going to be on a paid, membership that gets advertisements. You're like thinking, no, I used to pay that. You're the one that's hurting right now. I know your back's against the wall. Everyone saw the earnings. So now you're going to stick these advertisements in my viewing that I'm paying for so you can get some money. But like, what the hell is going on? Netflix, this isn't good for you. What were they thinking? I'm not sure. They shouldn't have.
What were you thinking?
Kept raising those prices.
And mine's packaged into my cable bill, so my cable bill doesn't go up. They just keep paying for it. And if my cable bill goes up, I'll call and change my cable package and go, I don't need Netflix. I don't want it. I didn't want it to begin with, but they included it on my when I upgraded to higher internet speed. They're like, oh, by the way, you get Netflix for free.
Nice.
You get, what do I get? I think I get Paramount, Netflix, and HBO Max included. I was like, all right, cool. I mean, if you're going to include it, fine, whatever.
Let's get this next one going. Is this okay?
Like, you want to reward that man for that work. And the only reward that you have to offer is an orgasm. But even if I didn't feel it, I would still be performative. So yes, I was faking it.
We got into like a argument, and then she was like, well, I don't be having an orgasm. She didn't say it in that. She speaks way more eloquent than I would have. And I was like, what? And she was like, I don't. I'm like, no, yes, you do. I hear it. Like, yeah, and then she was like, no, I'm faking it. I'm like, every time? And she was like, yeah. And then that just crushed me because I thought I was putting in work. Like I'm sitting there thinking I'm, Big Daddy Longleg.
So what's going on here is DJ Envy and his wife are dropping a tell-it-all book where they go in relationship and they say what works, what's not, what's gotten them, what's been the foundation, the glue, everything, the ups and downs, and one of those books. Well, on this little tour that they're doing, he didn't need to go this far. And then it stops and tells me like, man, that's a double-edged sword right there, because on one point she's saying she's trying to make it do it in a good form to make a man feel like, hey, he did his thing. You did your thing. And then whenever they get in an argument, she throws that out there first. Like, yeah, well, I was faking the orgasms, basically. So it's like, was this meant for a good thing or a bad thing? Or did, as a man, like, what do you think? This is just tough to hear that, right?
I mean, if you, and ladies, listen up. A lot of women try to get out of the fact and they're like, oh, I'll just fake it and I'll make him feel better. Don't do it. Just, guess what? If you're a baseball player and you keep swinging at high outside pitches and your batting coach doesn't come out and say, stop swinging at high outside pitches, dumbass, you're never going to stop swinging. You're going to keep doing the same thing. If you hit one home run.
What do you want her to do? Give you a good game? Like,
no.
Get her next time, champ.
If you don't get it, let him know. Let him learn to improve. Guess what? Sex is like a sport.
Women.
Both players got to be on the same page. If it's a mental thing, maybe you're in a bad mood. Maybe you're giving it up and you're like, yeah, I'm really not feeling this, but I'll do it for him. Fine. Make that known.
Women, can you talk to your man like that? What if it's a man that's not even like you're in a relationship, but you mess with this person? Do you just say, you know what, I'm done with this person? What if you get in a relationship and you're like, man, I'm not gonna fake it. This dude's just, you see what I'm saying? It's just bad. I heard this and I'm like, man, you could have promoted the book some other way. They're promoting as in now you can be open about it. It's just.
You can't be mad if you're in a relationship, whether it's long-term, whether you just started it. You cannot be mad at your man for not giving up the emotional details. Oh, he's in a bad mood. He won't talk to me. He won't tell me what's wrong. You can't be mad if you're going to be the type of woman who's going to fake orgasms and not tell him that something is wrong.
Potch makes a great point. He adds on to yours. Tell us what you want, maybe.
Yeah.
So it's got to be, but then at the same time, the man's got to have enough.
It's a two-way street.
But the man's got to be able to take that. Some dudes aren't going to be able to take that. They're going to be like, what? As a man, it's just going to be like, damn, what? But as a man, if you're in a relationship, I guess the ultimate goal is so that they don't fake. I just thought this was wild for him to come out there. And that's DJ Envy. I mean, that's somebody that's on the Breakfast Club. That's somebody that's in front of rappers all the time. Like, that's going to be a going on talk. Like, bro, y'all been together like 20 years. She's saying that every time pretty much. They went into debt, and she says basically it was the majority of the time. Like he kept asking, like, so never? And she's like, well, the majority of the time, no. It's like he was, he looked down kind of like Oreology. Is this a matter of too much time, too much money? What the hell is going on for the 420? Have you ever tried to twist the Oreo? Are you an Oreo guy?
Oh, yeah.
And get the same amount, or do you want one to have all? Do you want all the stuffing to go on one and just have one chocolate, or do you want the same amount?
I typically like having one side with a lot of it because I won't buy double stuffed Oreos. I'll make my own double stuffed Oreos. I'll take 2 Oreos and I'll twist and I'll try to get the cream on one side and then take the other Oreo, trying to get the cream on the other side, and then you make a quadruple stuffed Oreo kind of thing where you get all of that and it's bigger than the regular double stuff or even the mega stuff. And that's what I like to do. That's personally. Now, that's not my everyday. Sometimes I'll just eat it regular. Sometimes I like a little bit on each side. But that was my go-to when I was a kid, is try to get it all on one side, get another Oreo, get it all on the other side, and make a big-ass sandwich. And this was before mega stuff, too.
This boy's choosing violence. Well, I don't know what you think about this, but a group of folks have gotten together, and they created this machine to try to get the exact right proportions of the stuffing. Insert your Oreo.
It's a group at MIT. That's the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, one of the finest engineering schools in the world. And this is what they spent their time on.
I was personally motivated by the desire to solve a challenge that puzzled me as a child. How to open an Oreo and get cream evenly arranged on both wafers.
You're using pennies.
This was Krista Owens, a PhD in medical engineering. Damn it.
We talk about 420 day. This is 420. How stoned are these engineers when they decided that they want to address this issue?
after many reviews, after experimenting multiple times, you guessed it, the machine proved that you can't. After they tried it in multiple ways, the double stuff, they tried the different flavors, they tried dipping one, they tried everything, and they came to the conclusion that there's no possible way, even with this. So enjoy your Oreos out there. What a fail.
What were you thinking?
Like,
I mean, Oreos are great. Just, again, enjoy it. If you get a little, oh man, there's too much cream on one side versus the other. Okay, who cares? Enjoy it. It's a freaking Oreo. You want to eat dirt instead?
The research suggests that the cream may be sticking to just one side because how the Oreos are manufactured, packaged, and stored, which is out of the consumer's control. There you have it. And that was the lead right there. These are MIT, like these aren't just some regular odd squad. Let's sit around and make this machine. This ain't us. These are people, geniuses, PhD, and they got time to make one of these. Man, come on, man, get out of here. A tuition at Westminster College in Utah is $37,060. If you're wondering why, because if you want to get in, they're offering this class. Can you read that a little bit better than I can?
Yes, this is Film 3000 porn. Hardcore pornography is as American, as apple pie. Let me get my music up here too, because need to set the mood.
This is a course.
As apple pie, and more popular than Sunday Night Football. Okay, I'm not going to argue with that. Our approach to this billion-dollar industry is as both cultural phenomenon that reflects and reinforces sexual inequalities, but holds the potential to challenge sexual and gender norms, and is part of an art form that requires serious contemplation. We will watch pornographic films together and discuss the sexualization of race, class, and gender, and as an experimental, radical art form.
Okay. So what? My first thought was, man, who's showing up to this class? You're gonna have weirdos and virgins. There's nothing in between. The weirdos gonna be trying to get in there and peep to see who's trying to get their freak on, and then the virgins that know nothing about it. And how uncomfortable is that gonna be sitting there with your professor and he's just, all right, watch here, this, yeah, right there. Let's pause this. You see this angle?
Yeah, look at that. Look at how those titties shake right there. Doesn't that look good, class?
He's like, for my experience, my wife, and you're like, ugh. Or he shows you, whenever a teacher tries to show you, and then he gets up and he's like, he just puts his leg up on. He's like, I like to bend. At my age, you're like, what are we doing here?
Well, I mean, this goes back to the fact that, like, no offense if you're one of them fancy college educated folks, but unless you're like a STEM major, a doctor, a lawyer, most of this college shit is just a waste of time and money. Oh, I want to go study literature. Okay, go read books. There's a library for free right down the goddamn road.
Walt wants to be a professor.
I mean, now
are you hiring? That's who the weirdo is, right?
I'm guessing since you're going to be watching this, they're going to turn the lights down in the room. What happens if the dude behind you is having an asthma attack and he starts breathing heavy and you don't understand that he's having an asthma attack? Do you not turn around and go, what the fuck are you doing?
What if it's not an asthma attack?
That's a better
question. All of a sudden, coat comes off. You're like, yeah, same thing. What the are you doing? But yeah.
What were you thinking?
All of a sudden, there's an influx of positions trying to be filled at the school. You wonder why. All right, what do we have here? Oh, man, this is wild right here. Check this out. First off, look at this game. The game's still going. There's people on the court laughing at the dude that got shook up. Right? The play's still going. That dude's pissed over there. So he's going to go tell the ref, hey, bro, you missed a call, you mother. The ref said, hey, dog, boom, don't run up on me. You don't run up on me. Come on in. Come on.
This is rec league basketball.
Come on in. Look. Bam. Don't run up on the ref. Now, we're going to start this over so you can keep an eye. The guy that's whooping the ref, watch, he gets pushed on the ground. Look, so look, people are laughing at him. The crowd's like slapping him on the butt. Yeah, boy, you got punked. So look, he's back there behind the plate. Look at him with the white sleeves. He's back there. He's just waiting. He's like, all right, ref. Hey, dog, you ain't going to call no damn. You know what ref just said, bow. Open hand, too.
He Will Smith him.
Yeah, he just said, come here. Look, ref was ready. Eventually, it came down to this. Ref said, come on. Let me go. Somebody help me. Other refs aren't helping. You saw the other refs just sitting there like this.
I mean,
Look at the other
guys.
other refs right there. Get your homeboy. We ref together. We die together.
Let's. Can we not lose our minds over rec league or basketball? I've been in those situations: rec league, softball, kickball, basketball, whatever. And you always got that dude that takes it too seriously. And I get it. These dudes look a little bit harder than the average dude who played for like Sports Monkey, who did all those rec leagues. But if he's gonna do no blood, no foul on the ref, cool. No blood, no foul. You go out there and you start hard fouling.
No blood, no
and you
foul.
wait. Oh, y'all didn't play that when you were kids?
Yeah.
Oh, we played that when we were kids.
Yeah. You just know though, like
And even when you got blood, guess what? Still no foul. Stop being a bitch. Get your ass up and get the ball.
when you're playing in one of these games, though, you already know, you've already judged the ref of what you know what you should and shouldn't do. He should have known that ref was about that life. Like, you saw that ref. He didn't flinch one bit. He ran up like, hold on, are you coming at me? Bam. That means that ref during the game was taking no nonsense. That was a no-nonsense referee. And you ran up and got whack right in front of everybody. You can't come back from that. You got to fight. Even if you know you're getting your ass whooped at that point and you're going to get your ass whooped, you just getting your ass whooped in a referee jersey just hits a little different. Let's go to the next one.
I mean,
What were they thinking?
man?
What were you thinking?
All right, here. Ben Affleck is coming out with another movie. I'm sorry, here with Matt Damon. It's a documentary. No, it's not Good Will Hunting 2, 3, 4, none of that. They're making a documentary, called Gone Baby Gone, The Town Argo. What is that referring to? The start of Nike in the era of them chasing down Michael Jordan, trying to get him signed on to Nike. Them two are going to be producing it and starring in it as well. Are you in or out on this? They're already going to start production. One of them's going to play the Nike guy. One of them's going to play somebody else. And it goes into the depth. Supposedly, Nike, at that time, Nike was third biggest shoe company. They weren't even, imagine, look how much things have changed. Nike was third in the world at the time. And they were trying to obviously get the number one superstar. And they went to the extent of hanging out with his family. Like, they got a lot of things, like a lot of commentary and video of with his mom and just whatnot, just whatever the case is. This is what they got. Are you in or out?
I'm out. I don't need to see this. Now, if you went and you did just solely a movie, even maybe just a documentary, and they probably already have one, on them starting Nike and then the deal that they constructed with Oregon to get all of these, and it looks at the designers every year going and making the custom jerseys and the custom helmets and cleats and all that stuff. That might be one thing. I might watch it, but get out of here. I don't need this. This is a waste of my time. How much money are you going to waste that people aren't going to watch? We already see movies have trouble selling as it is. How many people do you think, how many $1 million do you think they're going to spend on this? And how many millions do you think they're going to lose?
I think quite a bit. Amazon Studio Films is what they haven't announced a release date yet. But if you want to know how Jordan got with Nike, there you go. Let's get to the last. What were they thinking before we get out of here? What were they thinking? We talked about the chip in the ball. If you recall, if you're an Odd Squad member and if you're not, the USFL is trying to use where you don't have to, where it's automatically, where you use that chip in the ball and it's going to tell you where exactly the ball was. And that's where it's going to dictate first downs and it's going to clean up the game. It's going to make it faster, more precise, whatever. Well, you figure the first thing they did was when they put this chip in this ball that they would weigh it, right? Like that. I think that would be one of the first things. Like, does this feel like a real ball still?
Put it in the exact same spot on every ball.
Like
something.
We're talking about 4 to 5 ounces of shifted weight, and the players are pissed. They're saying that you can tell, and it's especially the kickers. They're saying that the weight's not distributed proportionately. What do you do here? This kills the idea that it's ever gonna see the NFL, I'm guessing.
Oh God, yeah. And this is my thing: is 4 to 5 ounces. That's not heavy, but that's enough that you notice. My animals have microchips. When you don't go and you adopt an animal from an animal rescue or something like that, or even sometimes if you go and purchase an animal as a pet, they'll put a microchip in them so they can find out, when they get picked up by the pound. because your dog got out of the yard.
Mhm.
They scan it and they found that microchip and it pops up with your information. Use one of those chips. How difficult is this? Like, I feel like this is the 90s issue of technology again, where everybody walked around in the 90s and went, okay, I like what this cell phone does, but it's this big. I want it this big. Take that chip, however big that chip is at 4 or 5 ounces, make it this big.
You cut it open and it's one of those buzzers they give you at the restaurant when it's your turn. Brr, you know, one of those tick ones. You're like, damn, y'all couldn't put something this little? Y'all have to put this big ass buzzer in here? And that's where we are. We're going to have to table it.
What were you thinking?
They're going to have to table that idea. And we thought, hey, maybe this will translate to the NFL. It'd be cool if we wouldn't have to rely on how many times have you seen the referee. You're like, dude. I mean, we were in a moment where we saw a referee pull out a piece of paper not many years ago. You remember that? That boy pulled out a thin piece of paper and tried to. Everyone said, what the? I forgot about that till right now. A referee in the NFL National Football League pulled out a paper and tried to
slide it between the ball and the chain link to determine the first down.
So, of course, if somebody's coming up with a chip idea, we're in, but not so fast, not until they get this right. And that has brought us to the end of today's show. Thank you so much for everyone checking in. Dr. Dre, what up, baby? Get better, my man. I can't wait to see you out there somewhere. We're going to drink some beer sometime soon. Coop Patron and everyone that checked in today, thank you. We thank you so much because without you, there is no show. So you show up, we show up. It's the same damn thing every time we end the show. I'm going to say that. So you have to show up. And then that makes me have to try to put together some things that make Aaron have to come up here and be special. And that's easy for us because we do it together. Monaco won. I gave you Liverpool. I mean, what else can I do? I'm giving you everything that I possibly can. And I'm doing a $7.77. I'm paying for your coffee tomorrow. $7.77 Cash App for the winner of this marble race. That's all I got for you. I'm Jerry Bowen. I love you like a mother. Peace.
All right, you heard it, Mod Squad. Let's get this marble race going, and then we will go and raid another channel. You guys want to go raid the Brits that are playing darts and drinking beer? Seem like our type of guys. Again. Yeah, we're going to have to go raid them after this. If Marbles will ever launch on its own. Come on, Marbles. You can do it. I believe in you. Thank you, Pookie. There we go. Now, let's marble race this thing up. Barry said he wasn't on. I think he tweeted it out as well. He had something come up today. So he won't be doing his show, unfortunately. So we're going to go raid a different channel. We're going to let you watch. Those British dudes, they're fun to watch. I got sucked into a wormhole watching them for a while the other day. All right, let's find a short track. Twisted Toothpick. Let's do it. Y'all are jumping way too easy. All right, exclamation point play in the chat. Now we'll get you your marble. Wait until you see the actual track to start throwing it out there. I'm going to give you 35 seconds. 35 seconds. Exclamation point play in the chat. Get you a marble. Like Jerry said, $7.77 goes to the winner. Make sure you're following them on Twitter, too, so you can communicate your Cash App numbers or name or user or whatever handle to them. 15 seconds. Nice try, Chris. Yeah, CC, you need to give him shit. He needs to publish it on both if he's gonna do it. Or if you're looking for some entertainment while you don't have Barry for 2 hours today, feel free to go check out the newest episode of Come With Us podcast. We talk with a woman from a different podcast who is an expert in electricity. And I'll just leave it at that. All right, let's do this race. All right, here we go. I like how it's called Twisted Toothpick, and we're in the middle of like a corn maze or something. And everybody's through the Plinko board now. Keith Sager out there in first place. Uriel Villanueva has the high score on this one. I don't know. Somebody said Alex did. It's our buddy Uriel Villanueva who's got that high score, or the fastest time, the track record. Keith's out there flying through. Always one team. Man, everybody's just crashing into these, whatever the hell you want to call them. Bells? Is that what they are? Bells? Who knows? No, Biggie, I'm not sitting press at the game. I got wife wanted to go, and we found Crawford box seats for the first time in my life for only $40 a piece. Hey, look at that. Look who's in first place. This guy. So, yeah, we'll be sitting in the Crawford boxes for the first time in my life. Yep. As soon as this show's over, I'm rushing home, changing, and oh, bye, Jimenez. I saw that happening. Damn, goodbye, Keith. Goodbye, Chris. Everybody's falling to their death. Damn, Virginia Button, we just flying through there. How the hell did that happen? Good job, VB. Oh, that's cool. Well, I better be there. I'm going to get down there like 3 hours early because my wife still wants her Space City jersey. And they sold out online, and Academy doesn't have enough of them in stock, apparently. They already sold out of her size this morning when I got there. And I want one of those hats. Oh, look, my little marble finally crosses the finish line in 6th place. Yeah, I know, Dre. That was a shock to me yesterday morning. Game starts at 5:40, so I'm leaving early. Like, literally, 20 minutes from now, I'm heading my ass downtown. Congrats, VB. Make sure you message Jerry on Twitter your Cash App username. You'll get that $7.77. There we go. Now we can look at the leaderboard, and I can set up this raid. Let's see. Ooh, VB now has the course record for the Odd Squad. Beat Uriel Villanueva by 12 seconds. That's a fast-ass race. Nicely done. All right, guys, let's set up this raid. Y'all go watch some Brits play darts and drink beer and talk shit because they're fun. And again, if you want, go check out Come With Us Podcast. We got a new episode dropping today. In the Mud Sports. All right. Other than that, we will be back here 1 o'clock tomorrow. Bring your friends, bring your family, bring your enemies, bring your cousin, your uncle, your coworkers, everybody. Have a great day. Go Astros.